We're live. We're live now. Okay, so welcome to live, where we don't know if we're live, where we are live. Kyle can't hear, but I can. So, it's the party of the century. We were just chatting about how funny it was. We sat down to start this, and Kyle got attacked by a fan who's 3/4 of the way through his course. So, if you don't remember from the last two virtual extravaganzas, this time we've got him live in our booth.
And virtual,
Mr. Kyle Ely. And
great to be here.
We did visit with him this morning in his booth. We kind of checked out some of the stuff he's got going on. And today he's going to sit with us, and we're going to play, I think, your intro video for your course. And then we'll talk about it and get some questions asked.
All right.
Does that sound about right, Mike?
Sounds about right. We'll go ahead and do that now.
Okay.
Guessing that you're here because you have a problem. You invested lots of time and money into your CNC machine, only to be left searching all over the internet on how to use it properly without much success. Well, you finally came to the right place. The Vectric Master Training course has helped over 1,000 students from all over the world solve this problem by providing three major things: knowledge, resources, and support. When you join the Vectric Master Training course, you will get lifetime access to an online training program that has over 200 in-depth lessons in sequential order and hours of extremely valuable content broken up into easy to digest sections. From 2D designing, node editing, knowing which toolpaths to choose and which bits to choose, how to properly set up your feed and speed settings, how to use gadgets to increase your productivity, basic all the way up to advanced training on 3D modeling and creating rotary projects, and finally, many tips and tricks in between. This program also includes the resources that you need to accompany your learning experience, such as actionable steps, quizzes at the end of each chapter, project files, PDF guides, cheat sheets, and so much more. Finally, you will also have lifetime access to our exclusive private community with support on getting your questions answered. Some students have even told me that this was the most valuable part for them. So if you are tired of wasting time trying to learn Vectric software the hard way, and are ready to join over 1,000 students that are now using Vectric software more efficiently, then click the button on this page to get instant access to all of the training and start increasing your confidence today. I'll see you inside.
We're glad to see you here, man. This is exciting.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of been tinkering around online back and forth for a couple of years now, so it's been fun to actually get to see you here at the show.
Yeah, finally meet in person, actually.
Well, we talked about this morning the 2D and the 3D thing. I think that was a great challenge for you to sort of create that one of every toolpath thing. That was it was a fun project, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it was fun, and everybody seemed to like it too when they're coming by. It's a good visual representation of what it can actually do. So.
Right. Well, and I enjoyed getting to see watching your stories of you putting that all together too. That was quite fun. If you're not familiar, you need to go check out Learn Your CNC both on Facebook and Instagram. He had some stories about how he did the progression on that. So it was quite interesting watching you go through that.
Yeah, definitely fun little process.
Hey, Mr. Gary Jones said, good to see us both. Too bad Gary can't come here. I don't know what he keeps waiting on. He just needs to show up at the show,
It's killing us.
It's just a short trip.
Yep.
Well, how have you enjoyed the show so far?
Way busier than I thought it was going to be here.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah. I brought some free goodies to put out. I grossly underestimated how much free goodies to bring. So running out quick.
That's typical marketing.
Yep.
Everybody likes the free stickers and the swag.
Oh yeah. I hid some away, so I have some for tomorrow.
That's pretty smart. Yeah, because the Weekend Warriors will come out tomorrow.
Okay, so I'll be prepared.
There you go. Well, man, I know we've had a lot of stuff on here. You've covered different things in the past, and that's a lot of questions I get a lot of when I talk to people about CNC is, what about the software? And so it's always good to know now that we can drive them, to our website. We can drive them to your videos, and then they can really learn. And I did this is a good testimonial of that. I mean, I do a lot with local schools here, and we just did a big school system in one of our local counties nearby, and there was 6 different schools that took part of that overall training that I did. Well, now there's 6 schools that are part of your course, and I'm hearing very good things from them on that. So
I'm glad to hear that. I've had a few stopped by, and everybody seems to love it. So,
well, you got a good product, and you put it together extremely well. So, I mean, if you're interested at all in a CNC, this is the perfect course to go along with that. To learn your CNC program is tailored to that Vectric side of things. If you're using something else like, SketchUp or Fusion or one of the other programs out there, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you get into Vectric, it's so user friendly, but the way you present it just makes it where anybody could do it.
Yeah, some people are here asking me, like, they said they have never touched a CNC ever, and they were wondering if that was for them. Mm-hmm. And I said, I got many students started the same way, and now they're cutting projects away every weekend. So it's all depends on what you want to do, and this is a good way to do it.
Well, and I think if you're into Vectric, a lot of people have watched a lot of the free videos out online, and there's nothing wrong with those.
No.
But it doesn't really put you in a good training mode where you can learn and build on what you're learning after each step. And that's where Learn Your CNC has really taken that to not the next level, but multiple levels above that. You put together such a fantastic course that you build and you learn, and you've got those little keyboard shortcuts and those little tips along the way. I mean, just kudos, man. I've been a fan since before you really even started this thing full time. And
yeah, I appreciate your support.
You've done nothing but just keep impressing me.
Yeah, I just had a guy I was talking to. He said he was trying the YouTube route and the free videos and stuff, but he just said it was all over the place.
Yep.
One day he was making this, next day it was something completely different. So he couldn't build upon the skills he just learned. He was just doing something different. So he said he really appreciated the structure of my course. So more sequential, build on top of what you just learned. So.
And it makes it easy, if you're doing it, to be able to stop and really think about what you just learned before you move on to the next thing. And that's what I like about it. And you don't just put out courses at the end. You ask a lot of questions. You make them go back and think about what they just learned, which makes it even better.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and I like to have, like the master course, I have the quiz at the end. I break the into small sections so people don't get overwhelmed with tons of videos they got to watch. It's just small little sections. They take a quiz on it. They take some time to practice or whatever, and they go back to it.
And it's not a hard quiz. It's easy quiz.
Yeah.
It's not like Kyle says, well, if you fail this, you're not going to get to go to level 2. No.
Yeah.
It's very easy questions, and if you can't get the questions, it encourages you to really think about it and maybe go back and watch some of those videos that you went through to maybe relearn those things.
Exactly.
So you did a great job.
Still work in progress, but it's got a good start.
Well, and I like that you didn't just rest on your laurels of this good stuff you already had out there. This year you launched a brand new program, and from everything I can tell and from the feedback that we're getting, you did it right. So
a lot of work, but
yeah,
getting there.
Well, but now that it's your full-time job, you have nothing but time, right?
Exactly. Problem is I wear so many hats. So
yeah.
Always got to put the red hat on for the day.
Well, and if you're not familiar, Kyle has been doing a lot with Phantom lately too. So, and they're at our show. And so we're just excited to see that you're growing, and clearly you're going to be here for years to come. And you're going to take the Vectric community by storm. And so I think there's some other things coming up that you did our show here. You got a few things coming up in the next few months. I think you got a cool invitation somewhere, right?
Yeah, I'll be at Workbench Con. I'll be one of the guest speakers there. So that would be my first speaking gig publicly. So that should be fun. Besides your guys'.
Yeah, just remember it started with us, right?
Started with the these guys here. So.
And he's part of the new virtual session too.
Appreciate the support.
Yeah, and so not only you're part of the new virtual thing they're doing at the Workbench Con.
Yeah, there's something new they're trying. I guess they tried it with their other event they had, and it went well. So since my training is more on a computer, they figured that would be better for like a Zoom class. So it's going to be, I don't know when, a few days before the event or a week or so, and then I'll be at the event as well. So.
Well, and I'm just putting this out there for anybody who's with Vectric. if you don't get this guy as a beta tester and you don't get this guy on board to do some stuff with the next Vector community group, then you're missing out, because everybody's coming to him for answers and they're climbing on board with the Learn Your CNC course. So if you're out there, Vector, and you happen to stumble across this, you might want to consider it, because before long he'll be too good and you can't afford it.
I don't know about that.
Well, we're walking around here. I think I see Mr. Sterling Davis. Does anybody have any questions for Kyle?
No questions for Kyle, but we do want to mention that there is the Extravaganza sale, to where if you go to go.learnyourcnc.com/extravaganza22, you'll save 20% off the Vetric Master Training Course.
That's fantastic. And what a deal. And we appreciate you offering that. And we hope you get a lot.
Thank you.
It's been an honor sort of watching you grow and being a part of this.
Appreciate you being there and supporting me throughout the way.
Yeah, always, man. We got you back, both from a personal side as well as professionally. We enjoy hanging out with you and seeing how Learn Your CNC keeps growing.
Likewise.
So awesome. Well, do you have anything else you want to add? Anything I missed that maybe you're like, hey man, you didn't even ask me about that?
No, I think we're good. If you are just getting into CNCs and you just want to dabble with the Vetric software, I have Vetric tips and tricks I put out every week on my YouTube channel. And then I also have a free boot camp just to get you started with the software. So that's on my website as well. That's more like a 7-day thing just to get you started and to see if you even like it.
Well, I'll tell you, it's great. And that weekly thing is really cool. And a lot of times it's a much more personal thing during the weekly event, as opposed to just a pre-prescribed course. He does a lot with the students, and maybe sometimes even uses the students' project as part of that. So, if you're interested, we offer both of those, and you can go check it out.
Yep.
And, we're glad to have Kyle, and hopefully we'll see you again next show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And we'll probably stop by tomorrow sometime just to say hi.
I'll be there.
Okay. Well, sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Well, Kyle, we appreciate you coming by.
Appreciate you.
Look forward to hopefully good results here at the show.
Hopefully.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
And I just like the approach to the course. It's broken down into segments that are not too big to swallow. Another thing I liked about the course is once I bought it, I didn't even realize when I first purchased it that I own it. And I can go back over it and over it and over it. A lot of places don't allow you to do that. So I've gone back over your course. I like the way it's set up where I can do a search. I want to search for inlay, or I want to search for a tool path or a particular problem. I can go right to that course and take that course over again and get back up to speed and get back to working on the CNC machine. I had some woodworking skills, so I knew how to make a basic picture frame and those types of things, but the actual make something to put in the picture frame is what I wanted to learn. And I'm learning that through your course. I would encourage them to do so for a couple of reasons. If they're a beginner like I am, I can't think of a better source that will take you step by step from just learning the very basics of what this tool does or why you should select this over that. But the other thing I've noticed, and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos from people that have been doing this for a very long time, and I've seen errors. I'm thinking to myself, that's not right. That's not how Kyle would do that. And I'll go to that course and say, no, that was a mistake they just made, because there's a much better way of doing that. So even if they've been doing it for a while, I would still recommend that you take the course. And I would recommend the course to just about anybody that wanted to learn even more than what they already know. There's just simple little things that Kyle goes over that many people gloss over. I mean, you watch the course like, wait a minute, he didn't show me. How did he do that? I didn't catch that. Kyle doesn't leave those little tidbits out. He'll show you what will happen if you don't do it in the proper sequence, and that's invaluable to me.
Good afternoon or morning, wherever you're at. This is Chris with Klingspor's Woodworking Shop. Today on our Abrasive and Proud of It Live, we're going to make all of the competition green with envy, because we're talking green tech. That's right. If you've never heard of the green tech, well, stick around and find out, because it is probably one of the most innovative abrasive products out there right now. And it is so versatile. It has a lot of different functions, a lot of different
Hey, guys.
All right. Well, look, we got a new guest here. This happens to be Mr. Nick DeMars from Klingspor Abrasives. He's in their technical department. And I saw him walking by, so I was like, "Hey, man, you're with Klingspor. You have no choice but to come in here and talk to us." And he fell for it. So thanks for coming by, Nick.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So anything new on the horizon with in the sandpaper world that we all need to know about?
Not a whole lot right off the bat. We did do a little bit of changing to our foam products a little bit. We've latched onto a much tougher resin that was involved in those foam products before. In the past, I've used some of the Klingspor foam sanding pads, and they hold up well, but this next generation is much better.
Nice. So they'll be maybe a little bit more like our Fusion foam?
Yeah. Fusion foam is involved in this, actually.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's a good product coming in.
Well, that's exciting because we sell a lot of foam products.
We do.
A lot of people doing a lot of stuff in between coats of paint and a variety of other things. So that'll be good. And I'm assuming it'll be not just the blocks, but also the hand pads and everything else.
Yeah, the foam sanding pads, the Fusion foam, everything that we sell is Klingspor, but the sponge box.
Okay.
So it's all really good
sponge
product.
box square pads.
Sponge. We've got to get that straight.
If you're going to say it, you got to say it right.
Now, let me guess. You were involved in the naming of that product?
No.
Oh, that's surprising.
I was there when it was named. I put my no in the checkbox, but but I was overridden by the boss,
Okay.
and that's fine by me.
All right.
You know, hey, whatever they want, that's what we'll go with it.
I hear you.
So that's why I say sponge box square pads. Well, that's good. Let's see. How's things going with the green tech? That stuff is amazing on our side. People love it.
It's
and
fantastic.
If they haven't tried the green tech, you definitely want to try the green tech. We do have some at the show, so if you're here, pick up some if you're happen to hear this, right?
It's a fantastic product. In fact, I was just talking to a gentleman earlier today that stopped by the booth, and he was looking for something to do some finishing with. And I explained the difference in the paper and the film, that the film sat much flatter. And when the abrasive grains are applied, the abrasive grains sit much flatter. So the finishing capabilities of that green tech material is fantastic.
Nice. Well, I know we're a fan over here on our end, so I just assumed that on the industrial side, it would be just as big of a win.
It is, very much so.
Nice. And so what he was talking about with the film, that at about 320 and above, that's where that changes over from paper to film. And what we found, especially if you're doing a lot of epoxy or slab work, that green tech just shines in that market. Why? Because it can go from the bare wood to the epoxy, which is a plastic, and it can sand both of those, and you don't have to worry about loading, and you don't have to worry about the shedding of the grain like you do with some of the other products.
And it's funny you mentioned that. In particular, that's the thing that we were talking about, is transitioning from wood to the epoxy. Initially, he stated that he was sanding epoxy, and of course, we went toward the silicon carbide. But when I found out that wood was involved also, he was doing like epoxy river tables and so on, that 77 material, the green tech, was just the ticket for him. Once I explained the benefits and the differences between the way the abrasive grains work, it was a good thing.
Well, and one of the advantages of the film, not only does it produce a flatter, but once you switch over to the film, then it becomes a waterproof product.
Absolutely.
And if you're doing those epoxies or solid surface or, pretty much anything where you do need to use some kind of water or other lubricant to help lubricate the product to sand better, that will certainly be where the green tech shines. It's probably one of the most versatile products that we offer now.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, when we talk about the film too, we have to think about the edge work.
Yeah.
The edge wear of that particular material, that'll last you a good long time, bumping it up into those corners. As we try not to do it, but we know it happens.
Yeah.
You're going to bump it up into a corner. It's plain and simple. And with a paper disc, you will see some fraying and some tearing. But with that film material, it's going to hold up right through every bit of that.
Yep. Well, we're a fan, and our Woodturners love it. Our general woodworkers love it. People doing a lot of the slabs love it. The epoxy people love it. But it's it does so many good things, and it doesn't load. We don't sell a lot of it because of that, but the people does wear out. We do get a lot. Will just shine with that product. So
yeah, and that's a bad side to a product that lasts a good long time, doesn't tear up, is the fact that we just don't sell as much.
Yeah. So and you would think that a product that's going to last 2 to 3 times or 4 times longer than a lot of comparison products, that it would be reflected into price, but Green Tech's not that much more expensive than our just as popular Sterate material, our PS33. And but what we find is it's got just as good or more of a place in most applications because it is so versatile, and you can use it in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm. And I like the color too.
Yeah, it's a cool color. It would be better if it was like a Carolina blue.
We could go somewhere with that, but we won't.
I say this because he's not a Carolina fan.
No, I like that darker blue color.
Yeah,
myself.
he's more of a fan. I mean, here in North Carolina, we get a little crazy, even though he's got that, sort of not Southern accent. He's still a fan of a local team, which we will go and name. But no, it's that's cool. Anything else new on the horizon? Think of that may not be out yet, but might be out soon.
Not right off the bat, but I am looking into some things that I kind of keep under my hat for now.
Okay.
But we will see probably some new products coming up.
Nice. Well, Klingspor is really known in the industrial world, but they're well known in the metal side because they do a lot with the grinding wheels, the bonded products, the diamond products for doing masonry and concrete. So we were excited when we saw Green Tech come out because that's something for the wood market. So hopefully there's more of that stuff coming down the line for the wood market because Klingspor is worldwide and they do such good stuff. And we're just excited, that Green Tech came out. Mm-hmm. And, Nick he's part of their technical department, just like I'm part of the technical department here with the woodworking shop and Mike. But when I saw him walking by, I was like, well, at least we can get somebody from Klingspor to come on in and give us a little something, a little teaser of something.
One thing I like about being with the Klingspor family is the fact that we're always looking to improve. With the upgrade in the foam products, there's a couple other things coming down the pike that aren't cemented in place yet, so I'll keep them to myself at this point. But Klingspor is always improving products, coming up with new things that seem to work better than a lot of the others out there, and that's a good thing for me. I like to see that.
Well, we're excited, and it seemed like today was a very busy show. Every time I walked by, you guys had a flurry of people near you, and stuff while we were there, but certainly maybe try to get over there tomorrow during one of our mobile sessions and see what you got all in the booth other than what we saw this morning. Awesome. Well, Nick, we appreciate you coming by.
Sure.
And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Sounds
with new
good.
products.
Oh, yeah.
Something you can't keep under your hat.
So check it out, hang on, and we'll go into some more detail about this product. Now, we launched this a couple of years ago, and it has just really taken off. It has become one of our most popular materials in disc form, and so we've decided to sort of branch out from there, and then we've also got it where we're offering sheets as well. And I figure down the line, who knows, rolls, whatever. But to tell you a little bit about the product, it is an aluminum oxide grain, and I'll try to get you a good close-up here so you can kind of see what that grain looks like, maybe. And this happens to be the 120. And so it's not only is an aluminum oxide grain, so it's going to be nice, a tough grain. It's going to be kind of blocky, but it's going to be great for bare wood sanding, as well as finish sanding if you're trying to scuff or remove paint. Now, this is green, which obviously makes it stand out. And the good thing about this is this is a proprietary coating that's been applied over top of that aluminum oxide grain. And this coating is not a sterate per se. It's a very specialized coating that allows a lot of functionality when used traditionally with woodworking applications. So if you're sanding bare wood, especially those woods that are resinous, whereas most abrasives will load and you're pretty much tossing the material, this, if it does happen to load, which will be very unlikely, but if it does, you can either tap it against your hand or, better yet, hit it with a little air nozzle. It completely cleans out and you're left with perfectly fresh, clean grain. So this coating not only makes it non-loading, but it also allows for better grain exposure. Now, this might make it slightly more aggressive if you're used to using, say, a 120 grit, getting a certain result. You might want to test it out to make sure that it does work for you in this grit range. But typically what we found is pretty close. In some cases, you may have to step up, but for the most part, that 120 is going to be a 120, and it will last. Let me tell you, it will last. So this aluminum oxide with this proprietary green coating is available in a very wide range of grits. This is available from 60 grit all the way up to 2000. This is the only product we've got that consistently goes that that range and is not necessarily an auto type paper. Now, what's cool about this is we offer it two ways. Up to 220 grit, you're going to get it with a paper backing. It's going to be a C-weight paper, so it's still going to be fairly durable, but yet not so thick that it has no flexibility. And you can see this paper does allow for quite a bit of flexibility on the material, on the sheets. This is great for bending your own contours or sanding different molding parts, whatever you might need. Now, from 320 and above, you're going to switch from the paper, which is there, to the film. Now, one of the first things you're going to notice about it, the film is a 3 mil backing, and so that makes it very durable, but also very thin. This allows for a lot of flexibility and conformability if you're trying to sand contours. If you're trying to, they'll say you're trying to sand chair seats. Well, you put on a nice cushion pad and put this film on, and it's going to follow those contours very nicely. Now, one thing you'll notice right away, it looks like I have this facing the wrong direction. But on our film material, you read the print from the front, whereas the paper material, you'd have to identify it from the back. So that's one quick way to see whether you're using a film or a paper in regards to the GreenTech discs. The other way is above 220, well, it's just not available in paper. So we make this available to our customers in sheet form, and not only just in 9x11, but we also offer it in a couple of different options in the Festool hole patterns as well as a few others. The 3x4s and some of the specialized sanders that use specific hole configurations, we do offer those. And you can check those out on our website. Another thing we offer is in disc. Now, we carry these not only in these 6-inch discs here, which happen to be pre-punched out in the 48-hole pattern for Festool, but we also offer it in all the other forms as well, 5-inch, from 6 all the way down to the 1-inch. And then, of course, we go higher. Let's say you're using the gem sander to do a lot of work. We offer this GreenTech in the 11-inch gem sanding disc as well. So full range of discs and hole patterns and sizes and options available in discs as well as sheets. Hopefully, as we expand this line, you'll start to see it in other forms. But I'll tell you, this has become one of the most popular products we offer. And from personal use, it lasts a long time, give you good results, and you'll probably see 3 to 5 times the life out of using this compared to some other products on the market. And so definitely want to check that out. If you're looking to do wood turning, we've got these. If you're looking to do regular hand sanding or sheet sanding, these, and then discs in a full range. But GreenTech, that's the FP77 or the PS77 is what it's labeled as. But we call it GreenTech, and that's an easy way for you to identify it. If you see it in our catalog or on our website, it will say GreenTech in the description. So hopefully that gives you a little more insight. We do offer this. This is part of our sampler pack as well. So if you buy our disc sampler, you'll get a couple of GreenTech products in there. So you'll be able to at least get a tasting of it in the coarser grit as well as in the, I think it's the 600, 800, 400 range. So the GreenTech is in there in 2 options, both in the film and the paper backing. So hopefully this helps. Mike, I believe you got some graphics or something that we're going to show on the product.
Yeah, absolutely. So GreenTech is offered in the paper and the film, like Chris said. So 60 grit through 220 is going to be your paper back material, and then 320 to 2000 is going to be the film back material. The TAC coating, our ACT proprietary, is basically going to give you a lot more grain exposure on the surface of the abrasive, giving you a lot longer service life and stock removal over time. So therefore, that coupled with our proprietary product to not allow much sticking to happen to the surface of it is how you get GreenTech with the TAC. And it's really recommended for high loading applications such as the hybrid sanding with wood and epoxy mixtures, all finishes, marine, wood, you name it. It's great all around abrasive to use. And we're not just saying that because, we're here to sell you it. We're here to tell you that because we use this. This is something we use on the weekends, every day, whenever we are in our own shops. And we're just blown away by how this stuff works.
Yeah, so this was originally intended for the marine industry, for those super hard UV epoxy finishes, scuffing it down, sanding it off. But what we found is because of that TAC that was applied to that, it's fantastic for general wood applications as well. So we took advantage of that and punched that out. And I think it lasts so long, management's even a little concerned with how few of these we sell because of the lifetime of the product.
Yep, and that's no joke. So the one thing to note about Green Tech, if you're thinking about trying or switching it over, is that it may be a little bit more aggressive than the grit you're currently used to. Because of that ACT coating on there, the grain is much more prominent. And so therefore, a 120 grit may seem more like a 100 grit just because that it's more aggressive and longer lasting. So if you're going to try some, keep that in mind. That's really the only thing that I can say is a caveat to this material in general, if someone hasn't tried it yet.
Yeah, so fairly new. You may look at that and go, I don't want it. I don't want green shedding all over my workpiece. It's not going to. Trust me. Give it a try. We do offer the discs in a 10-pack. We offer the sheets in a 5-pack, so you don't have to buy the full 50. That's a good way to sort of get introduced to that. We've even just recently launched a special Woodturners disc package, so that's available. You can find that on our website. And we are working on currently only in the smaller discs. We only have these available from the 320 and above. We are working closely to try to get these punched out in the paper disc size in those lower grit ranges, so you can have the full range of green to choose from. But for now, these are only available in the 320 and above. The sheets and the discs are available in the higher grits and the lower grits. So there you go. Anything new on the website, Mike? Any promos or specials that we need to talk about before we end today?
Today's a good day to do that. We have a lot of books. We've gotten a lot more books in stock. Everything from chair seats and caning to making a deck. I mean, literally lots of spoon carving, lots of scroll sawing, a lot of different things that are going on there, as well as Forstner bits. There's a lot of Forstner bits. The Diablo Forstner bit set, as a matter of fact, is now featured because it's back in stock. And then Wood Epox from Abatron, that is on the website as well. So if you're looking to do any kind of structural repairs on rotted wood, that's where Wood Epox would really come in handy. And we'll put a link in the description of this video below.
All right, look at that. Man, that's the first time I've seen the wait, go back to that. I want to see the mic. Look at that.
Mike,
Man.
what's up, buddy?
What's going
Like
on,
you're at
Sterling?
some kind of bar on Friday night there. What's up with that?
No, not at all. You like that
I can't
Friday?
hear you, but I can tell you I love you and I miss you. I wish you was here.
Thank you, sir.
He said thank you.
Just enough to get to heaven.
That'll work.
Well, all dogs get there from what I remember from the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is us. We are live in the booth with Mr. Sterling
It's
Davis.
just not cool. I love the Extravaganza show. Every year I look forward to this so much.
Yeah.
You don't have a whole lot of local stuff that comes around, and to be the hometown kind of woodworking show in a place that I shop and frequent a lot, it's kind of cool. It's neat, really is. And to see all the familiar faces throughout, it's really neat.
Well, I know this show's always been fun for us, sort of. As working here, man, it's always tough.
I'm sure.
But the best part of the show is the people. It's really why we do it. And I always enjoy getting to hang out with a lot of the woodworkers and getting to chit chat and talk and learn. And this is always a good show for that.
Yeah. And all the vendors that's here, obviously they're here to sell product, help Klingspor the store. But I mean, the community in itself and the relationships you build. Ralph over there with Michael Jig, I've known him for 15 years and just seeing him at different shows, and it's always good to see him. Rosa with the Kreg, and Jerry, oh my Lord, his turning. I love to watch Jerry in just his cowboy hats and his little birdhouses he does. And
Oh yeah,
he's phenomenal. He acts like he don't know nothing, and he's just brilliant. He really is. He's a great wood turner. He's one of my go-to. Look at fanboys, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, Jerry's fun. We had him on the last couple virtuals, and whenever I said we were going to do live, I was going to just stand here and just start snagging people in the booth to do live stuff with us, and that's how Nick got in here with Klingspor. And I said, well, I know you're coming. I said, but I got 10 minutes to get Nick in, and
got a filler.
Then I saw you walk in and walk by. I was like, "Oh, come back, Sterling."
I'm here. I don't know what value I'll give you, but I'm here.
Hey, man, you bring value to the whole maker community. You're encouraging, you're supportive, and and you're kind of like Gary out there in the West. You know,
love
you're like the
Gary.
Gary of the East, but you're a lot bigger and taller. You know, and but
I'm kind of thinning down a little bit.
well, I didn't mean bigger this way. I mean, you saw I had my hand this way. Let's don't get offended over fat jokes that weren't there.
I saw Gary on the internet there. He was hating he couldn't come here, but yeah, Gary's a great guy. He does a lot for the community and great support. He really is. And I love being a support to people. I feel like I don't have nothing to offer, but at the same time, people ask questions. I want to try to help them.
Yeah.
And if I don't have the answer, there's many people that I know that do, and I can kind of direct them in that way. So it's kind of neat. That's how the community works together.
Well, and you see it. Those are the people that we want helping the community, because you just said, "Oh, I don't have anything to offer," but man, you do. You got a lot to offer. You got a lot of knowledge, and you're willing to help, not just look down your nose and go figure it out. Like there's a lot of makers that, sadly, that's their motive is just, I've learned it. Now you got to figure it out, but you want to give it back. And you want to help the community, and that's what's exciting. Is you're just like a teddy bear, man. You just want to help people. And
well, I say support. I don't know a lot, and I don't think I do, but at the same time, it's self-taught. Mm-hmm. But not just self-taught; it's through the community and things that people has taught me. Things that some things I didn't like, some things I did, some things I picked up on. You know, it's just you pick up little things along the way, and it's neat how it works.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the funny thing is, if your scroll sawing ever just decides you're not going to do it anymore, you always got TikTok.
That's right. Yeah, I like cutting up. That's my go-to relief for some comedy relief.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that at all. So, we just happen to have fun. So you visited the show. You got here sometime this afternoon, right?
Yeah, I've been here for a few hours, walking around, meeting and greeting, and just looking at all the tools. It's kind of fun, just dreaming, but at the same time, I got a couple things I'm about to drop a little bit on, so we'll see how that goes. I hope my wife's not watching.
She's not watching. We didn't announce we had Sterling Davis on. We just happened to have him on. But so as you walk the show, what's one of the coolest things that maybe you didn't expect to see but you saw?
I didn't expect to see, but I saw. One thing I do enjoy seeing, it's not just booths for selling stuff. I saw a kid over here turning a little trinket for the first time, never turned before. It's the teaching. They're scroll sawing over there, teaching. It's more than just selling stuff.
Yeah.
It's teaching people the basic fundamentals of woodworking and just getting that instilled in people. Hey, it's more about a therapeutic kind of thing. And you get your hands on stuff and do it, whether you like it or not. And that gives people an opportunity to say, hey, do I like scroll sawing? Do I like wood turning? Do I like carving? I mean, they're going to have a round table here tomorrow and to see carvers and how they do it and ask them questions. Hey, why are you doing this? Or how are you doing that? And it's a great tool for, I guess, teaching. That's what I like to see.
Well, and that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on. Yeah, we enjoy selling this stuff, and but for us, it's not all about money. I mean, we want to support these local clubs, and some of them meet in our stores, but we want to support them because they're here to help teach. And so we utilize the people who know the craft, like, you with scroll sawing. And Artisan Pirate was here earlier talking to us a little bit. So we were showing earlier how the soap carving and the painting and all the stuff going on over here in the corner. So we love to support that, and we love to support our local school systems as well. So we, it's all wedges together, become more than just, like you said, more than just a selling event. And that's kind of where we want to make this show different. And we think it does just that.
So yeah, it is more than selling. It's, I guess if I could classify that, it would be educational.
Yep.
It really is.
Yeah, if you want to buy something, we'll certainly sell you something. But if you want to learn,
thing about educating people, once you get them in, now you got a customer.
Yeah, so I remember years and years ago, I used to work in our store. It was the Sunday after the show, and she fell in love at the Learn to Turn Center. They bought a mini. Well, they ended up buying a couple of more chucks and some more pin accessories and stuff that they didn't get the day before. And I would say within 6 months, she was turning pins better than he was. And they were nice. I mean, she was doing a really good job. What was funny was within a year, they had to build another shop. She took his over.
Well, and that's another cool aspect of woodworking. A lot of people think of woodworking and think manly things. There's a lot of females in this doing great work. There's a lot of kids that are doing this, doing great work, and it's just building a foundation to keep like that woodworking heritage going. But yeah, it's not just for men. It's all people, all types. It's just a great. Again, I call it therapeutic for me.
So, you know, if you're in the area or if you're not, maybe you thought about coming to the show, but you backed away. You know, hopefully you've seen and heard a lot of things today that we want to make plans. We do this every October. This is probably this is the highlight of our year. Not just we don't do this for sales. We do this because this is the community together. And this is, we just enjoy meet cool people. Some Pirate this morning, you know, learn your CNC. Kyle, we had him in here earlier. You know, these are all people that we've met through doing the woodworking stuff.
Yeah, builds relationships. It does, and you have a community that you could just go to for whatever you need. It really is. So we may have some shenanigans going on.
Hey, Chris, your mic's cutting out.
Sorry, Mike.
I was told my mic's cutting out.
There you go. So was it shenanigans?
Yeah.
We can't say. But let's just say it'll be fun. And it might even be fun before the shenanigans start.
I do see a cooler.
But no, we're going to have a good time, and we got a sort of an after show party for makers tonight, so that's going to be good. We're going to interact, and
so you
we
gave
won't
me
do
this
any
little
videoing
blank
of that.
badge.
Do what?
I fixed it.
Oh yeah, he fixed it. He put his in there so
I'm
everybody
special
knows.
Now. I feel special.
We will not be videoing in that room.
No.
Just because they're makers, and they're there to eat and enjoy and have fun. Last thing they want, well, some of them may want a camera, but if that's on them if they do. We're not videoing anything from our perspective, but feel free to post. And if you do come by the show, we still have the banner outside of booth. Feel free to sign it, take a picture in front of it, selfie, post it on your Instagram or your Facebook. And we're using Extra 22, so hashtag Extra 22. And I think we'll keep that up even through tomorrow. So if you're in the area and you're passing by the booth, you can sign it. It doesn't matter whether we're doing a live show or not. You won't be in frame, but you signed it, right?
I have signed it.
I saw your name. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to hear you say it. So, well, Sterling, we appreciate you coming by, man.
I appreciate you asking me.
Looking forward to some fun.
I love it. Again, this is one of the highlights of my year. Love the show. Love the Klingspor store. I love supporting the brand. They don't give me nothing. They don't sponsor me for nothing. It's just good people. It's a good company, and I enjoy it. And I'm glad there's one close to my home.
Yeah, we are too. Sterling's a big scroll advocate, so we're excited to see all the stuff he does, not just on TikTok, but I think Mike had your tags and everything up there. Feel free to go check him out, and maybe you learn a little something extra. There you go, Instagram.com Sterling Davis. If nothing else, you learn how to have fun on TikTok, but you'll learn a little woodworking too. So, well, Sterling, we appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of the show, and we'll definitely catch up tonight.
Yes, sir.
Or maybe before.
Good to see you.
Michelle Parsons, and I'm here today at Klingspor's Woodworking Shop and the Pyrography store, and we're going to discuss the portable rotating easel. One of the benefits of this portable easel is that it rotates very quickly, so that when you're burning, you rotate your work so that, for instance, if you're on the head and you're wanting to burn the fur coming off the head here, you don't want the thicker part, which is where your burn starts, to be on the background out here. So you don't want to go in this direction. You want to turn it around and go in this direction. So this turntable gives you the ability to do fast turning as you're working and change your angles. when you're working on something and you are working with a skew and you want to go around a curve like this, if you turn the easel, it can assist you getting around that curve with the skew. So you don't have to pick it up like you normally would have to break and then pick it up and turn it and then start again. If you learn to rotate the easel while you're burning, then you can go right around that curve and you can make this very quick. Another benefit, when I pull this up at an angle, the smoke when I'm burning is going to rise straight up and not into my face. So it'll continue straight up here. Whereas if I had it flat, the tendency is to bend over and the smoke goes in your face. So this easel assists with keeping the fumes out of your face. But if you're working on a very large piece, it assists you into working at the very top of the picture, so that you can burn up here. And the other, like if you had a 3.5 foot piece, the other choice would be is to lay it straight on the table, and you would have to bend over or stand up and bend all the way over to reach the top, which puts a lot of strain on your back. So this easel can assist you with burning at the top of the image while you're working. This easel has a turntable top that's got a Lazy Susan, and it's got a stop wedge which you can put in like this, and it stops it from turning. If you just jam it right in there, then it won't turn. When you're using this, you carry it by the handle here, and I usually reach right around here and put this wedge into the hole. But you can carry it with the handle here, and then lay it down with the handle towards your face, towards where you're going to be working or sitting. Then if you will lay your hand on the base and reach over and pull the turntable top up and reach under and lower this adjustment lever, you've got 6 different grooves positioning in. So it will go at 6 different angles here. And when you're done, just lift it up, fold this in, lay it back down, and then you can reach around and put your wedge in. Another question I get often is, how often do you clean your tips? And I have recently found out that a lot of people don't even clean their tips. And why do you need to? So I'm going to demonstrate here on this piece of pine. And you can see this is why we don't really work a lot on pine, is that it smokes quite a bit. The smoke that it produces. So pine smokes a lot, but it also produces a lot of carbon buildup on your tips. And you can see that better when I switch out to a piece of basswood. What I want you to look for is, see all these little black flakes that are getting in here? I wanted you to see the black, there it comes, the black flakes that are right here. If you leave that on your piece and burn over that, that is carbon buildup, and those little black specks will be fused to your wood. And therefore, you won't be able to get them back off with an eraser. You'll have to scrape them off or use a sandpaper, and sandpaper will usually take some of your burn off. So the best thing to do would be to clean your pens and clean them often. And there's the black flakes again, right there. It's like black dust. Another reason you want to clean your tips is that you want to make sure that your tip, the metal, is touching the wood, and that you don't have a lot of debris like carbon buildup or gunk, say tagua nuts or gourds or debris that would actually get onto the tip. So you want to make sure that you clean that off often. And so I am going to show you a method that I like to use. I've used it for years. I know there's many different methods out in the industry that people espouse to, like tea strainers, but I don't use a tea strainer because I use a very small ball tip and it would get caught in the openings of the tea strainer. So I stay away from tea strainers. I also don't use steel wool, because if your tip is a little bit hot, you end up when you're rubbing, getting your tip down through the steel wool. Some people use sandpaper. I definitely don't recommend using sandpaper. And the reason is that these tips are so thin, It doesn't take much sandpaper to reshape them and to actually go through that thin wire. And your pens cost too much these days for you to destroy them. If you want to burn hot and you want to burn and use sandpaper, that's your prerogative. But if you want to save your pen and not have to change them out often, I would suggest using another method. The other things that people use are cleaning with like this V tool. It's got two razor blades in it. This is the older model of the Razertip cleaner. And it actually, you just scrape your blade. You can do that hot or cold, but you just scrape the debris off of it. The only problem is when you have a ball writer or a bent spoon, something that's bent, it's hard to keep it on this flat scraping motion. And you can pop the ball right off of there. So be careful if you're doing that. They have a newer model out that's a lot nicer, but it's not for all pen tips. Another method that people use, and I do recommend this for tips like, this is a feather former. It's got wire wrapped around the tip there. And what that's for is for placing on the board and then dragging it, and you get all the feather barbs at one time. But when you're cleaning that, you need to use a very soft brass brush like this one. And all you do is lightly buff it. And you want to get down in between all those grooves. You can use this brass brush for other tips. And you can lightly do this. But the wires like to get caught in the opening shapes. So it becomes difficult because you keep snagging it sometimes. You can do it, but make sure you brush lightly. Also, a word of warning, do not use the brass brushes they sell at hardware stores to remove rust, because those will actually scratch your tip. It'll scratch the metal. They're too hard. So at Klingspor, we sell this one that's got a lot of thick bristles, but it's soft, and it's made by Fordham. And we also sell this one by Razertip. It's also very soft. So when I clean my tips, I am using simply a piece of denim. You want to make sure that your denim doesn't have any kind of stretch in it, just plain denim. And then what I do is I reach over while I'm burning, and I can do this hot if I have a protector for my table. If you don't, put it on a piece of wood. But while it's hot, you can reach over and simply wipe your tip off. And the reason this is important, there are some materials you'll be burning, like tagua nuts. They're very waxy, and you'll have to reach over and clean that tip off of all the debris about every other stroke or every stroke. Gourds you have to do very often. Wood, not so often, but every 10, 15 minutes or so, I just wipe this off. Cleans off any debris, and it stops the carbon buildup from building up too much. And after a while, when you go back to burning, you will start to see a carbon buildup, even though you've been doing this. At that point, you want to change and turn your machine off and polish your tip. If this isn't working anymore, then you want to polish it. If you're burning and you notice a lot of dragging, you will notice that on shaders. It's on ball tips a lot. So as you're pulling it across your board, you'll notice the drag. If you've ever been working with a polished tip and you don't have a polished tip, it's got carbon buildup, it starts dragging. That's when I go to the polishing system. And for polishing, I use, because I have a background as a wood carver, I use the same thing that I use for honing my knives for wood carving. I use a compound. This is yellow strop compound that we sell at Klingspor. And all I do is just put that on a strop. And I don't have to load it every time, but if it's getting too gunky, like this one has been used for years, so you can see all the carbon in here. And then all you have to do is reach over and go back and forth on this one. I do not hone my knives back and forth, but on this, since it's a ball tip, I just change the angle and go back and forth. And that's cleaning all that carbon off of there. And then the last thing I do is wipe this off. Make sure that your your pen is off when you do this so you don't heat up the compound. But when you're done, then wipe it off on your denim, because if you don't, it's going to smoke as soon as you turn it on from any debris that's caught up in here. Polishing a skew, which is the knife blade, it's beveled on both sides, so you turn it on the side and just go in one direction. And then when you feel like you've got that cleaned, flip it over and go in the other direction. And again, wipe it off when you're done. It only takes less than a minute to clean these and polish them. So it's something that you should get in the habit of doing. Shader, and I'm wanting to polish that. Make sure that it's turned off. And then I just get it flat. You only need to polish it on the surface that's going to be on wood. If you're a person that likes to turn your shader onto its side, go ahead and do the side as well. But if you just use the bottom, that's all you need to do. Is go back and forth until you get it highly polished. And then wipe it off on your denim and you're ready to go. Now, the one thing I can say about this method is I have been using this for almost 20 years. I've got pen tips that are well over 10 years that look like the day I bought them, except for they're a little discolored up in the area, like up in this area where I don't actually polish it. Other than that, the shape is exactly the same. And I can tell you I've had friends that have used sandpaper, and they will go through a ball tip. Some of them have been through several ball tips in 1 year because it grinds the metal off of them on sandpaper. So this method I know works. Many methods work, but I can tell you that this one will work. And if you want to purchase any of these materials, we do have a separate polishing kit for pyrographers that we sell at Klingspor. And it comes with a linen bag that holds your materials. It comes with a piece of denim. It comes with the leather that you use the rough side in a bag so that when you're done putting the honing compound on it, you can stick it right back in the bag. It comes with jeweler's rouge. Now, instead of this compound here, you can use jeweler's rouge. And I would suggest using the blue or the red instead of the white. The white's a little bit more aggressive. It's straight aluminum oxide. This one right here is a general compound and it's gentler on your tips. So we sell that in the kit, and you would do the same thing. You would just take your leather out of the bag and then, put your stropping compound on there. And then we also put an eraser in there for your transfer images to erase the lines off. And it comes with instructions, full instructions on how to do this. So that is a kit that is for pyrographers. So in the upcoming months, we'll be doing wood burning Wednesdays, and we'll put our details about the schedule on our website, and that is at woodworkingshop.com/pyrography.
Check out the Burning Post newsletter, a monthly publication about pyrography that keeps you up to date with the latest machines, tips, and accessories for your wood burning business or hobby. The Burning Post is exclusively at the Pyrography store at Klingspor's Woodworking Shop. Visit us at woodworkingshop.com/pyrography to sign up.
This has been a fun day, and we're out day for sure. But this is the 22nd annual Klingspor's Woodworking Shop Woodworking Extravaganza here live and virtual at the Hickory Metro Convention Center. Man, it's been fun. Anything hot and burning on the burning post or anywhere else today, Mike?
No, that's about it for that. So I guess we're looking at, get rid of that. Hold on. It's been a long day, as you can tell. But we're looking at 9 a.m. tomorrow here on YouTube and Facebook. What are we going to look forward to tomorrow there, Chris?
We've got a couple of demos coming up. We are going to be probably going to have the guys from Arbortech either in our booth, but we're definitely going to catch one of their demonstrations. We're going to be over in the Sorby booth. We're going to catch one of their demonstrations, probably with Dreadnought, and he'll be over there doing some different turnings. So we got a few things lined up for tomorrow. And we can get it all worked out. Hopefully, it'll be a fun day, whether you're live here with us or virtual. And so if you decide to come tomorrow, definitely search me out, look me up, and give me a high five or whatever. Don't forget to sign the banner. and just come by and say, hey, I'd love to meet you.
Absolutely. So, taking a look here at the map, if you're going to make it out tomorrow, it's a great deal for everybody in the family. So, bring the kids, bring the wife, everybody. And then there's a quilting thing going on next door, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. I think Chris has got some backstage passes he's going to run through there.
Yeah, paid somebody some money, so we might give a mobile tour through the quilting factory over there.
Hope it wasn't too much.
I was
I was going to say it's not a factory.
Yeah.
Convention hall. But yeah, so join us back here tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, and we will take a look at all of those fantastic things. And don't forget to check out woodworkingshop.com or woodworkingextravaganza.com to see all of the specials, deals, and everything going on.
Yeah, looking forward to it. One more day, folks. One more day.
Oh, get rid of that there. Boom. So I am Mike Z.
I'm Chris.
And we'll see you all tomorrow.